Wow. How wrong was I, people? How wrong was I? Jesus. I did a video last week um, almost saying this was a foregone conclusion. Almost saying that Lee Selby is just going to outbox him and at times make Warrington look like a European level fighter. And I have to eat humble pie. There's not enough humble pie in the world I can eat to almost go back on my words. Because, look, you know what, firstly, let's just get a few things out straight away. Undercard, awful, right? Undercard, awful. But main event felt like a massive event. And I know that sounds stupid, but it did. I mean, the Kaiser Chiefs live was just, even if you don't like your music, even if you don't like the Kaiser Chiefs, you just have to appreciate that, right? And then you had Lee Selby coming into Big L. I mean, the difference there was massive. But the atmosphere was fantastic. 10 out of 10 for the main event. 25,000 people there. Well done, Josh Warrington, I guess, who sold the majority of the tickets, and well done to Lee Selby as well. What Frank shouldn't do, and what they're going to try and do, is make Carl Frampton Josh Warrington next. That makes absolutely no sense for me. You have Josh Warrington, who clearly is a superstar in that Leeds area, that can sell 25,000, 30,000 tickets just like that, and will do even more now he's a world champion. Why would you put him up against another one of your superstars, Carl Frampton, who again can sell 30,000, 40,000 tickets just like that? Why would you do that? You keep them separate and you build this a bit. You don't want to kill off one of them. I just don't understand the logic in setting these two guys up to face each other when they're both big superstars. If Lee Selby beat Warrington, then it makes sense, right? Because Lee Selby isn't a big draw and it's just a big fight. But when you've got two guys that clearly are big superstars, you don't put them together. Not for me anyway, you don't do that. Lee Selby just looked off, didn't he? He looked off. And look, you got to give credit to Josh Warrington for making him look off. Josh Warrington didn't allow Lee Selby to set his feet, didn't allow him to use that good jab, didn't allow him to get in rhythm. It was Ricky Hatton Costa Zoo Part 2. It really was. Warrington looked stronger. Warrington looked the busier. Warrington looked like he had the better engine. And what shocked me more than anything, Warrington looked like the better boxer. One thing I had going into this was not that it was boxer versus puncher, but I thought, I thought that Selby is levels above Warrington when it comes to boxing ability. Clearly not. Clearly not. Warrington landed better combinations. Warrington landed better body shots. Warrington landed the harder shots. And every time he pushed Selby back onto the ropes, Warrington looked so much more stronger. And that shocked me. The cut that Selby got, I think it was over the left eye, wasn't it? Was it the second round? That had some impact, but obviously the blood wasn't streaming into the eye. The cut was on the side of the eye, so it was almost going down the side of his face. That obviously caused Selby some problems. There's a few sort of rabbit punches as well. But all in all, I just thought it was such a dominant performance from Warrington. He hit Selby with a combination in round 2. And I tweeted that if Warrington had power, which he doesn't, you look at his knockout record, I think he's only stopped 5 or 6 of his opponents. If he had the power that, I don't know, even a 50% KO artist has, he would have knocked Selby down. I'm not saying knocked him out, but he definitely would have knocked him down. He wobbled Selby at least 6 or 7 times in that fight. Whereas I don't think Selby wobbled Warrington once. I actually don't think he hurt him once. I think the only time he landed clean and I felt that Warrington was in a bit of trouble was round 11. But Warrington, again, as he would do in the whole fight, every time Selby landed 1 or 2 shots, he would land 5 or 6 to impress the judges. That judge that had it a split decision, I'm going to use Ultratech's word here, should be put outside and be shot immediately. Because it was embarrassing to have that a split decision. It really was. That was a clear, I had it like 5 or 6 rounds to Warrington. I could have maybe had it 6 or 7. Selby only won, I think, 1 or 2 clear rounds in my eyes. The other maybe round or 2 that I gave him was just because I thought, maybe he nicked it. I mean, some of the rounds were so dominant, it could have been 10-8. I mean, 10-8 always is for rounds where someone's been knocked down. But believe you me, some of those rounds were so dominant, they could have been 10-8 rounds. It was such a dominant performance in front of your home fans. I mean, it don't get any better than that. It really doesn't. Penny for the faults of Lee Selby. This was arguably his big fight, right? This was the come-out fight. You put a dominant performance in here, you get Carl Frampton at Windsor Park. Massive fight, massive payday. He's just lost that. And now he has to go back to the drawing board. The good thing for him is that he's in a division that's full of talent. But no one's going to want him as a voluntary, so he's going to have to work his way back up to a mandatory position. So it's not going to be easy, but look, he's 30, 31, so there's still options out there for him. Scott Quigg's an option, but that's, both of them are coming off losses, so it's kind of a loser leaves town situation, so I don't think either one of them is going to want to put themselves in that position. And I think Scott Quigg almost fights a bit like Warrington. It's just kind of pressure. And I don't think Selby likes that. Selby wants someone to almost stand off him to get in his rhythm, get in his groove, and Warrington gave him none of that today. None of that. It was so reminiscent of Hatton Zoo. It really was. Again, though, I really don't want to see Warrington versus Frampton. I mean, if Frank is as smart as I think he is, he'll keep them two away because, again, you've got two stars, and right now with BT Sports, Box Nation, you want as many stars in your stable as possible. Why try and knock one of them off? It doesn't make any sense to me. But guys, what do you think of that performance? I thought it was a crazy performance, great fight, great atmosphere, great everything, to be honest. Well done, Frank. Well done, Box Nation. Well done, everyone involved.